Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Oafdiscussions. I'm your host, Kid Swift. With me today is Mr. Webb. What's going on, brother?
What's going on with you? Listeners of the podcast, before we get started, I would like to wish a condolences and would like a moment of silence for all of our listeners, for all of the men that have passed within the last few days in order for Blake Shelton to be named Sexiest Man Alive of 2017.
It's been a tragic last few days, and but here's the thing. Here's a positive that I guess could come out of this. Jason Momoa's been getting brownie points.
What you mean brownie points?
Well, I mean, everybody keeps like posting him.
Nigga should have won the whole bakery. What you mean?
I know, right? Yeah. Here's the thing that I keep seeing. I keep seeing everybody posting, how could he be sexiest man alive when Idris Elba is still alive?
Idris Elba, Jason Momoa.
Jason Momoa is the main one. There's another black dude that I've never seen before.
I've heard of him only because of Twitter.
Okay.
I was like Kofi Garobi?
Yeah, something like
that. I've never seen him. Oh, okay. I've never seen him.
Okay.
But he was in that movie Girls Trip.
Oh, okay.
That's why he just kind of blew up out of nowhere.
That makes sense. Okay. That totally makes sense. So yeah, we just want to have a quick condolences.
And like somebody was like, he's not even the hottest guy, or he's not even the sexiest guy on his own show.
Yeah, that was the funniest thing about it. Man, they went in. I feel bad. I kind of feel bad for it.
Kofi or Cerebo.
Okay.
Cerebo. There we go.
The funny thing was when I first saw him, I thought he was one of the guys from Black Panther, but I was like, no, that's not. Because I was trying to figure out, I was like, no, he's not. No, he's not in there, I don't think. Unless I'm missing somebody.
I'm looking now, too, to see if he's in there.
I'm pretty sure he's not. Unless I'm mixing him up with some of the other guys, but I'm pretty
sure.
He
was listed in the countdown.
Oh, really?
He was actually in this countdown. I haven't even looked through this. Okay. I haven't looked through this at all.
Okay. See, I haven't even checked on that side of it. I thought it was just like... See, and I thought they just did it like they just picked one. I kind of feel like they might need to do it from there on. That way they don't give you like the
hell kind of hat that they just pull out this out of,
right? Man? Yeah, they're just like Blake Shelton. They're like, all right, are you sure? It's like, all right, okay.
Wow.
So you guys know, Brent is tied up at the moment doing some work things, but hopefully he'll be able to join us. But if not, he sends his what's up to everybody in the O family, and as always, Shayna, what's good?
Hey.
Yeah. So,
what up, Jedi? Yeah.
Yeah.
On that note, too.
So getting into it,
how was your week, sir?
It was good. Had some pretty just kind of chilled for real. Work was crazy the first couple days, and then the last few days it was nothing. So that was good. That's all. I'd always rather start off with it being nuts than like an in and off crazy. So that wasn't that bad. Other than that, been just hanging out, trying to finally get into and finish and knock out Stranger Things because Punisher's out, so I got to see that. Mm-hmm. And then I'm way behind on the movies. I still got to see Spider-Man and Wonder Woman. I was like, I got to see those. Well, I know I've got to see Wonder Woman before I see Justice League because that'd be stupid. And that way I can see all the pieces leading up to this. But other than that, just been playing some The Division. Randomly got back into it after like a couple years, which is fun. And then finally got to listen through Big Crit's album multiple times. I had listened through it like once when we had recorded last, and excellent album, but getting to listen to it multiple times now, it's like, geez, man, it's so good. It's so good. So yeah, other than that, I mean, same old same. Been a good week. Been a lot of gaming stuff that's been crazy. I'm definitely going to go in on that on an episode of the backlog for sure.
All right.
Mainly focusing on the kind of debacle that happened with EA and the release of Battlefront 2. So
okay.
We'll definitely talk about that because it got kind of out of hand, and I feel bad about it.
As you should.
Yeah. You kind of feel bad because one of the main reasons I feel bad is because one of the guys that helped write this one used to work at IGN, and he was one of my dudes that I really liked his writing at IGN, and this is his first game he's writing, and he got to write a Star Wars story first as his first go, which is awesome. But I feel like a lot of people aren't going to get to it because everybody's so pissed off about the multiplayer that nobody's going to get into it. So we will see. But yeah, other than that, same old same. Can't complain. Doing my thing. I had to run.
I knew it. I saw that. I saw that.
I was trying to think.
I was trying to think,
but I was trying to pause.
I was going to react, but then I saw them gears turning in your head, and I was just like, "Nah, hold on. Let's see where he goes from here."
Yeah. So, how are you doing, brother? How was your week?
I am chilling. I'm chilling. I'm good. I'm good. Speaking of like consumerism and shit like that, I just been either listening to stuff or watching a bunch of stuff.
Very nice.
HBO was free this weekend on the Roku, so I just went ahead and...
Dude, it's so good. Like, I just let it like automatically renew. I was gonna get rid of it, but after like getting through like watching Curb, getting through the first season of Westworld.
You just try to slang Curb Your Enthusiasm, just...
Like the Curb?
Yeah, I just got to watch Curb.
I know, I have to. It's such a long title. You got to. It's easier to say.
Like wait, the Kirby's New Adventure get a TV show?
Right, Kirby's Epic Dream World. But yeah,
TVMA. Yeah,
it's so good. It's such a good
does
streaming
a lot
service.
Of sucking.
Right. Yeah, and some blowing too. So he covers his bases. God. Shout out to all the Kirby mains that play in Smash Brothers.
His theme song, like his opening theme song on the show, is Ludacris's "Blow It Out Your Ass."
Oh yeah, that'd be so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh, somebody needs to make that now.
That's so ridiculous.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's perfect though. That's perfect.
Back to what I was. Let me get back on track.
No, you're good. Go
Let me see. HBO. So I finally watched Lego Batman. Been putting that off for the longest, but it was on HBO, and I was like, all right, well, I just woke up. This will count as my Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, so you hadn't seen it?
Nah.
Nice. I saw it in theaters. It's pretty. It's
cute.
Yeah, it's cute. It's like cute, but you got to say it in the angry voice. It's one of those.
Yeah. As far as like what that movie is, it's like it's exactly what you would expect from the Lego movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the Easter eggs and the references that they threw in there.
Oh my god!
Whether you're familiar with the comics or if you're familiar with any of the Batman movies.
Yeah.
And
like I love the fact that Bane was a mixture of Tom Hardy and the original
and the Luchador
and the Luchador Bane. It was so great, and whoever did his like joking like voice was hilarious.
And I was looking through the cast on the credits, and I was like, "Wait, he was in this? Wait, she was in this?"
Yeah, it was
like Channing Tatum, Rosario Dawson, and like Ray Fiennes, who got to play not only Alfred, but also got to reprise his role as Voldemort. Yeah. But they didn't outright say it was Voldemort. Yeah. I'm guessing because of copyright or some shit.
Yeah,
but exactly. You knew who it was.
Right. Yeah.
A bunch of other different people. And I was just like, wow. It was just like just going through it. Like, I wanted to hit pause and just look through it, but it was like, nah, I don't feel like it. And I take a nap.
It was a nerd's potluck, that movie was. Like, everything. From everything. Doctor Who to every comic. All that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. I didn't realize that was Zach Galifianakis' Joker and everything, so that was crazy. I binged on Friday. I binged the entire season of Punisher.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. Okay.
I got up 6 a.m, hit play on that. Was watching it, or was trying to watch it in between during my shift.
Okay.
So what I was trying to do is like certain parts where I knew it was going to get crazy. I would sit there. I had it in its own separate window.
Okay.
So so I didn't have to hit minimize or something like that and mess up my whole project or my whole work. But, so I'll sit there. I had a separate window. Okay. So I could hit the taskbar when I'm doing something else over here, and then I could just kind of look at it in the little preview section.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, luckily I did that because there was a couple sex scenes on there. And the last thing I wanted to do was somebody's cheeks sitting there just showing up on my computer screen while my
No, it's Netflix. You know, you can't tell until you move the mouse that it's Netflix. It's like it's great.
It's just ass cleavage and everything.
What are you watching in full screen? It's Netflix. Just wiggle the mouse.
Or like some of them death scenes because that season is brutal.
That's what I was figuring. I was wondering. I mean, even from the way he was in the Daredevil series, I knew kind of what we were in for. But I was wondering if it was gonna stay the same, if it was gonna be like if that was gonna be the through line. But apparently so.
Shit gets gruesome.
Really? Makes sense.
And like it's so funny. It's like it could literally be like its own separate thing. Mm-hmm. There's nothing really drawing. Or there's nothing that's kind of with the exception of maybe like like plot armor or like there's no way you would have or that this person would have missed their shot. There's no way this person would have like known to hit them in their bulletproof vest or something like that.
Right.
It's just kind of like, okay, hold on, where you guys suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Right.
But as far as like it being connected to Netflix's Marvel series or any of those like that universe, or the Marvel universe in general, the only thing that really draws them together.
Well, you've got the what is it, Matt's partner,
Karen.
Yeah, Karen. Yeah,
she shows up in there.
That's what I thought.
I think that's in the trailer. So that's not a spoiler.
It is. Yeah, it's been heavy in the previews.
I don't want to spoil this because fuck it. He's only there for like one scene. Literally, Turk is in there.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
As far as seeing him in there, it's like doing something shady, and then getting caught, as he always does. And like with this time, like with Daredevil, he just gets his ass whooped.
Yeah,
Iron Fist, he gets his ass whooped. Yeah. Luke Cage, he gets intimidated, maybe gets his ass whooped a little bit.
Yeah.
With Punisher, I was like, oh no, what are they going to do with Turk?
Yeah, right. Because I mean, it could go really bad for Turk in that situation.
Because Punisher was just murdering motherfuckers.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So as far as him catching Turk, it was just like, oh no, is this the end of Turk? Is this the end of our Nick Fury?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
Of Netflix's Nick Fury. Spoiler alert, he survives.
Okay.
But it was still just that whole like, oh, wait a minute.
That makes sense because his whole thing is like that he sold guns. Yeah. So it makes sense for him to show up in some respect in the Punisher thing.
Yeah. But, as like some comic, he's probably like the only real comic relief in that whole series, and he was only there for one scene. Okay. There's jokes, maybe here and there a little bit, but like everything is played dead serious. No pun intended.
Right. Now, as far as I don't know if this is a spoiler, if you can say this, timing wise, where are we compared to where they were in season 2 of Daredevil? Because I find that interesting. Because there was
it's after.
Okay.
It has to be after because.
Okay. But with flashbacks, obviously, to like establish character. Is it?
I don't really.
I just assumed.
As far as flashbacks,
I saw like some stuff like from the press and like the trailers, so I assumed it was like flashback because there was like military shit.
There's military shit. Yeah, there's flashbacks of military shit.
Like that makes sense.
Frank's time in the Marines. His time doing special ops and stuff like that.
Okay.
But as far as nothing that shows like him interacting with Daredevil or interacting.
Yeah, that's not what I meant. Yeah, I understand. Okay,
no,
that makes
nothing
sense.
over the top where it's like people with masks or costumes and stuff like that. It's just straight up,
just like realistic, like
as realistic as possible.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit of commentary about America and their treatment of vets.
Okay, that makes sense.
A little bit of a commentary about
PTSD,
America's obsession with weapons and stuff like that.
Okay.
People that are pretty much trolls when it comes to like
weapon.
When it comes to like debating stuff, there's a lot of politics when it comes to debates with the Second Amendment, as you would expect. Right.
Yeah. Which is, I think, is probably one of the reasons why they delayed it by a little bit. Because of all the kind of like, because the Vegas thing, when the Vegas shooting happened.
Oh, so it got pushed back.
It was supposed to come out like that same week as the Vegas thing. Like it was supposed to come out the week after that Sunday that the Vegas shooting happened.
Oh.
And then they were like, whoa, like I don't think we need to have like Frank West going hard with guns. I guess they just kind of.
I don't mean to hit you with the nerd shit, but
what?
Frank West is Dead Rising.
Oh yeah, my bad. God, I always do that
with the camera. Yeah,
Frank Castle. Sorry. Yeah, that'd be funny. He uses everything but guns, like literally in the world.
Damn near.
But yeah, so that was one of the things that you saw after that. So I'm not surprised.
I didn't even. It kind of seemed like out of nowhere. At first, I thought it was like. Marvel's being petty, so they're showing bringing Punisher out the same weekend when Justice League comes out.
Right.
That's what I thought. I didn't once did I know any of the I knew it was like, wait, it's supposed to come out this year, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, it's out, and so like that just kind of hit me there. I didn't know until the day before.
It was supposed to come out literally when that happened, and then they were like, let's hold it just a little bit. They was like, we don't know about having this subject matter like right there, like right now. But the bad thing is, like 2 other things that fucking happened since then, and they're like, all right, they're like, it's like we can't fucking keep holding it.
There's no perfect time. Like, there's not going to be a perfect time.
Exactly. Like there's not going to be a perfect time. But it sounds like it's good. I mean,
it is.
Yeah,
I'd say it's good.
Yeah.
There's some near the end. It's kind of weird. It's kind of going like you can kind of tell that they're trying to lead up to another season.
That's what they were saying. I saw a bunch of articles talking. I didn't read them because I didn't want to spoil it, but it was like a bunch of articles setting up like who's going to be the villain, who's going to be the big bad in season 2, and it was like talking about like how not how it ended as far as like in detail, but saying like this is what it seems like.
Yeah,
it's leading to a setup pretty much. Yeah,
and it seems like they're setting up an introduction to a character that I don't know too much about. I don't know too much about Punisher's lore.
See, I don't either.
But
He's
I know of a certain character, and it looks like they are introducing that character into the next season.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's probably a huge. I guess. I don't know, what is it called? A blind spot in comics as far as for me. For me, because I can't like. Besides the old movies and then the interaction stuff with other people, like as far as him by himself, I mostly have no fucking clue. But like when he's interacting with everybody else,
I thought it was gonna be boring. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's one of those things where it could have been.
It had the potential to be. But they really pulled it off as far as it being just more than just somebody's doing bad, shoot him, kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, this person's doing bad, kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, all the bad guys found out the Punisher's doing this. Let's go get him, shoot him. And
yeah, exactly.
So I'm glad they at least went there, and like how that in episode 50 where we had this conversation about Iron Fist.
Yeah,
fuck Iron Fist. Okay, season 1.
I know.
But anyway, that conversation we had about it, where it was like Marvel does best when it is a certain genre movie that just happens to have a comic book character in it.
Yeah.
I said superhero, but Punisher's not really a superhero unless you count his plot armor, and just happen to move just in time to miss a shot or to miss a headshot or something like that, or his bullet or his vest with the Punisher symbol just happens to just draw all the bullets just to that direction. Away from his head and any vital organs, but whatever. Yeah, so like Punisher excels as far as being like this type of military. I don't want to say spy thriller because like that was more like Winter Soldier was kind of more like a spy thriller. It was just more just kind of more like a military drama, almost like in the vein of like a like a 24 or what's another one? I think there's something called Homeland. Is that
Homeland?
One
on? It's a
Showtime.
I think so. Yeah.
Something along them lines. And they did a pretty good job as far as that.
Nice.
So shout out to them.
That's awesome.
I tried watching Assassin's Creed this weekend.
I keep seeing it on HBO, and I'm like, I don't want to.
It was a fucking chore.
Yeah,
it is boring. I fell asleep on it twice, and I was like, you know what? Nah, I can't.
When they unveiled the percentage that takes place in the Animus and the percentage that takes place in like the real world, I'm like, I already fucked up.
Did they?
Yeah, they.
See, I probably fell asleep on that part.
Like before the movie came out, they said like I think it's like it's either a 60-40 or a 70-30 split. It might even be worse. It might even be a 80-20.
Wait, when you talking about the split, or you
like basically saying like the amount of the movie that takes place in like the Animus when they're in Spain, or the times that you see like shots and acting and stuff take place where they're in like present day. And apparently it leans very heavily towards the latter, which is obviously that's not how the games go.
The present day.
And every time it pulls you out, which is one of the things I really like about the new Assassin's Creed game, which is set in Egypt, which it has the option where like it'll pull you out, but just for like a very short second. And then you can go like right back in. I mean, within 5 minutes or less, which is a huge difference. And it does it, I mean, every 15 hours. Like we're talking about a very long span of time. Or you can go to the start menu and you can hold up on the pad and you can just go out of the Animus and go hang out with the girl who's controlling Bayek, which is pretty cool. But it's one of those things where the in-game world is so realized you don't want to get pulled out of it because it's way more interesting than the real world where the Animus is located. Same thing with the movies. Even though you clearly see what they tried to do, they Hollywooded the Animus. making it that big gradical arm thing.
Yeah, that made it goofier,
yeah,
in my opinion. It was just kind of a little less realistic because there's only so much space that he can go.
Exactly. So I mean, what are you gonna do? Just have him like running suicides? Like if he's going like a certain amount, like if he's going over a distance,
and having him jumping and this, that, and the other, and then like the parts where he sit there and was diving, and then like they'll sit there and just cut him off, or he'll sit there and just. Or what if he hits a wall? Or if he like.
Right, exactly. That's what I was saying.
Like it would have made if they wanted to kind of liven up the Animus instead of him laying down like they do in the game.
Yeah,
they could have. I don't know. Maybe put him in a tub of water.
Yeah, like a deprivation thing,
or something like that. Yeah,
I'll take that. I mean, but my thing is, if they do the regular Animus, that means that forces them to spend more time in Spain, in the I guess the more technically, which I know obviously the Spain part's more expensive. The most expensive part about the real world part is the arm.
The funny thing about the Spain section, the Saint section, like it's like the map.
I know, right?
The Spain map, it is so just drab and just boring.
Yeah,
it's
like brown and black.
Nothing. It just looks real saturated, like a little oversaturated. It's like nothing looks very distinct.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh yeah, that's definitely Spain right there. It's like it looks like
old Spain. Yeah,
it's just like some old ass village that literally you could add it to anything, and you wouldn't really know depending on the language that the villagers spoke.
Exactly.
And for the parts where they sit there and like there were certain action sequences, and they cut to the action with I was almost at Ezio. It's like, no, that's not Ezio.
I know, right?
Aguilar, which was the Spanish assassin.
Mm-hmm.
They were cutting between Aguilar, and then they would cut to the prisoner, both played by Fassbender.
Yeah.
They would sit there and just have him do an action sequence as Aguilar. Then they would sit there and cut back and show him in the Animus doing that same sequence. It's like, I know he's doing that.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, like I didn't even see
care.
Like you could just tie in like an end part, like where he lunges and then you see it, then go back real quick. But you don't need to show it twice.
Well, they kind of did. Well, that's kind of what they were still doing. Like sometimes they would sit there and just cut back to show him do the sequence.
Yeah, which is like,
or they would sit there and just like do like a quick little like a back and forth between. It was just like. It doesn't add anything to this. Doesn't add anything to the action.
It doesn't at all.
It just makes it seem like, hey, let's play pretend.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's Michael Fassbender in a bouncy house,
right? Because the thing is, in the Spain section, there is a risk. There is a issue to deal with. There's a problem. Yeah. If you go back to the other part, you go, oh yeah, that's right, he's fine.
Yeah,
and then it immediately just removes all the suspense from it.
Or if they would have been cool with it, as far as like like in the game where if you do something that you ain't supposed to do, it kind of goes like, whoa, hold on, it's like warning, this isn't what happened.
Yeah, like this is not right.
Stay on track.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if you get killed,
or
it's like if you keep doing something that you ain't supposed to do, it's like desynchronized or something like that.
Yeah.
If they would have sit there and like added it onto it, it's like where. I don't know. They punish him each time he's getting desynchronized.
Crazy, yeah.
Like the people that are, for lack of better words, holding him captive.
Just punch him in the stomach.
Or like torture. Like I don't know, like torture him or something like that. But shock, a shock or something like that.
Yeah.
Like raise the stakes if it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Here, I haven't even finished the movie.
It's so funny,
and I'm already making it better.
The one redeeming thing that I saw, and let me make sure you can confirm or not because I haven't seen it. I can't remember.
What happened?
I'm trying to think of when it was that I saw a part of it because I didn't finish it either.
Oh, we're still talking about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, we're still talking about Assassin's Creed. The one redeeming thing for me was the fact that when they went into the Animus in Spain, they had to be subtitled because they were speaking Spanish. Which that's great. Like that makes sense. Like it wouldn't make sense if they were speaking English. You'd be like, what the fuck kind of? This is supposed to be historically accurate, literally pulled from the DNA of this dead dude, and you're just speaking English. Yeah. Like that doesn't make any sense. So, which I mean, you could use the whole it's a simulation, so the Animus is making them. But whatever. I like the fact that they actually did that, where it was like, okay, like if we're going to Spain and we're in this, we're actually in this. Like the actors, everybody has to speak Spanish and it has to be subtitled.
Yeah, that was probably the only thing that was really kind of adding some authenticity to it.
Right, exactly.
It was just the fact that everybody was speaking. These were Spaniards.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, still white.
Yeah, right.
But at least they're still white. But at least we got some authenticity going as far as it looked. They're portraying like they're in a different country.
But then, of course,
had it been English, Or
British accents would have been funny.
British accents would have been.
Oh,
that would have pissed me off.
Yeah, because that happens too much.
Especially with Fassbender being. He's Irish, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's Irish.
Okay, I was right. No, he's not Scottish. Yeah, Irish.
Yeah.
Irish.
Oh, God, man. Yeah, that movie's a.
So Assassin's Creed trash.
Yeah.
A movie that wasn't so trash.
Uh-oh.
Justice League.
Hey.
So yeah, me and my wife went to go watch it. I didn't realize that we could have seen it on IMAX. I'm kind of kicking myself a little bit, but I'll hold off on that. I'll hold off on that until Black Panther.
Okay, all right.
So I was like, yeah, it'll be that way. Well, the thing was, it's like I don't know if I want to cough up IMAX tickets for something that I don't know if I'm going to enjoy.
So those ball, you're like, I hope it's good, but I don't know.
It's like, nah, let's just look at it in the tiny theater. Let's go in the tiny theater.
Let's go to the record screen.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. She enjoyed it.
Nice.
She like when it stopped, she was like, "That was really good." I was like, "What?"
You're like, "Yeah," like high five. Yeah,
yeah. She was in, and then she sat there and was like, "Jason Momoa it was like he's kind of a little bit of eye candy. I want to see more of him." It's like, I bet you do. Because the funny thing was because I made a joke. It was like that he looks a lot like Roman Reigns. It's like you would sit there and think that they were related or something like that. Yeah. Well, they're both like what is it? Pacific Islanders.
Yeah,
yeah. So. I think Momoa is Samoan.
I
know Roman Reigns is Samoan or has Samoan in him.
Yeah.
But yeah, in that kind of area, right? That Pacific Islander area. But anyway, you could kind of tell that it was still a Zack Snyder movie.
Even though the director switched.
And even then, like, I don't know how much
was already done
and then just kind of stepped in.
Seems like
but you could tell it was like, here was Zack Snyder's plate. Mm-hmm. Here was his dish that was made by Zack Snyder, and you could tell that Joss Whedon added a little bit of a sprinkling and seasoning. You can tell he's seasoned a little bit here,
just salted
here and there.
That's good.
Especially near the end. There were some parts. It was like, okay, hold on, you put a little too much pepper. It's like, dial that back.
Trying to blow it off.
Yeah. But yeah, as far as like. I enjoyed it. It was a huge step up, especially having something that had, as far as DCEU goes, with Batman, with Superman involved, and it not being like a dud, and just like they got the stick out.
Yeah, right.
They got the stick out their butts a little bit.
Yeah.
It's still dark. It still has like a little bit of grimness to it.
Yeah, it still seems
movie-ish. But at the same time, it's like they finally sit there and kind of go, well. I think we've already talked about this at one point. It was like Dawn of Justice, and how they, the old saying, "It's always darkest before the dawn."
Right.
If Whedon didn't step in at all, I'm under the impression that this was still going to go this route to begin with, as far as like things be lightening up a little bit.
Yeah.
In the sense that, okay, the palette, you can kind of tell they messed it with a little bit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it had more of an optimism to it.
Okay.
Everything wasn't just. I hate when I smack my lips. Everything wasn't just grim, and everything wasn't just kind of goes like, woe is me. And all this other stuff. But at the same time, like, there's a few jokes here and there, and it didn't undercut the drama as people complain about with Marvel.
Okay. Yeah.
The hell was I about to say?
That's good.
Flash.
I heard Flash is good.
My wife didn't care for him.
Okay.
Because she was so used to the TV Flash.
Show. Yeah, right.
She's
absolutely.
so used to TV Flash. She was like, well, why didn't they just add him on there? As a matter of fact, why didn't why didn't they have Green Arrow in there? As he probably would have been just a little bit more competent than Flash a little bit. He was kind of tripping over his feet in the movie, like almost literally. Yeah, no, literally, he was literally tripping over his feet. There was some funny parts on there.
Yeah.
Superman, they're on the right path now.
Okay.
As far as like the flashbacks and stuff. Them, as far as kind of showing. Instead of like with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, when he was alive, when they had him alive in those two movies, they kind of sit there and just kind of goes like, "Oh, woe is me! I have all this power. I could," and then it was like, "Oh, we don't know him. He could be a god." It was like he could be. What do we do? What do we do with him?
There's no manual for this.
What do we do with him? But at least with this, like, which is ironic, is like, how in the flashbacks do y'all sit there and show him as this symbol of hope?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. It's like, I mean, granted, that's in hindsight now. It's like,
I guess they kind of.
Oh yeah, we fucked up. Let's portray him more as like what he should have been, And then like sitting there showing the flashbacks. It's like, oh yeah, he really inspired these people. He's really like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so there's.
I heard as far as like dynamic, I heard like one. It seems like overall, everybody has the same general opinion where they're like, oh yeah, that was actually pretty good. Because I think everybody was kind of like, oh fucking Jesus Christ. Even though Wonder Woman, was great.
Which I need to on wax put this out there. I apologize towards Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Because on the flashback episodes, when I was sitting there looking through it, I was scrounging around through all the stuff that we talked about with DCU or DCEU. We gave her shit.
Yeah, we did.
Me
we
especially.
Gave her shit. Yeah.
Me especially. So I meant to say this when I first watched Wonder Woman, but I meant to say this when I saw Batman v Superman. I stand corrected about everything that I said towards her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She owns that role.
Yeah, she does.
And
in in Batman vs Superman, she was probably
they were the best part.
Parts.
She was the best part, especially when her damn theme song kicked in.
That song is so good, man.
That is that's one of the best superhero themes I've heard in a long ass time.
It's really good.
And in the movie they played it a little bit. They didn't get to do it like a heavy action sequence like it's just just all in the. I was hoping that I got a little blue balls as far as them not playing it like
they
that.
They keep like getting close. You're like, come on, just drop
the
beat.
It was all subtle. It's just like.
It's like I know what it is. I know what it is. They're about to play it.
It was like they're about to. It was like in a way of like kind of. You know how they used to do like with Batman, where they would scroll up the building and then see him on top, over the building.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with Wonder Woman, where she was like on a statue, which you see in the trailer.
Yeah.
And it's like do 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 craning like and looking up to her watching over there.
Yeah.
And it's like okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And then like she did her action sequence, but they didn't play the music out. They didn't drop. They didn't hit the drop. And I was like, oh,
so funny.
And they did a little bit of Batman from 1989.
Okay.
They did the original like Danny Elfman theme.
I think that's because there was a interview with what's his name, the composer, and he said he hid an Easter egg in the composition.
Okay.
And it was like asking if you like they didn't give it away, but they were saying like, do you know what it is?
Yeah.
And I bet you that's probably what it was.
And the parts with people reminiscing about Superman, they sit there and played the old Superman, like Christopher Reeve.
Oh, nice.
They played that theme when they were talking, anytime like they would talk about Superman, or anything like involving like Superman came up, they would sit there and play that old music. And I was like, oh wow,
that's
and
great.
It just kind of
No, what I was gonna say is it seems like everybody's pretty much had that same general reaction of, oh, that's pretty damn good. And then the other thing, it seems like people have been saying, at least I've been seeing it, as far as like from a lot of like writers, is that Jason Momoa's Aquaman is pretty damn dynamic as far as like what you can see there from like the stuff the stuff that's on his plate.
Yeah.
It seems like there's a lot more variety on his dinner plate than people thought it would be.
Yeah. I was expecting him just to be like this Sons of Anarchy type dude. Like as I mentioned on episode 50, we come back to that. You don't mind if I kick my feet up, do you? And just kind of just drinking beer and just throwing the can or crushing the can with his head, just tossing it at Flash or something. But no, he showed a little bit more range than what I was expecting. I was I would have been okay with him being one note.
Yeah.
In Justice League, Cyborg, he kind of came across a little one note.
I was wondering about that.
They kind of used him as like almost like a literal plot device.
Okay.
He was almost literally the Deus Ex Machina.
That's funny.
In this movie.
That's kind of hilarious. I wanted there to be a shared level of. I wanted at least a little bit of the funny that it seems like is there with the Flash to spill over on Cyborg just a little bit. Because there's potential there because he is mostly robotic.
Yeah.
For him to be almost in the same way like Drax is, where it's like dry humor.
Yeah. Like
there's potential for that, even though in like if you look at, of course, like Young Justice and like what is it, Teen Titans and shit. Like he's fucking hilarious. Like he's he's the goofball. Like him and Beast Boy are like the two goofiest ones.
Yeah.
So it's funny to see like him be more closer, like literally a cyborg.
Yeah, the grim woe is me kind of still stuck with him a little bit.
Okay,
mostly because like he kind of lost his humanity.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of still has it, but he's still fighting with it and still trying to learn how to cope with his new body and all that other stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I could kind of understand that, but at the same time, it's just kind of like they didn't really give him much to chew with or much to work with.
Because would this make sense that him...
Personality-wise is what I meant.
No, I was going to say, does this make sense that as far as like newly into their powers, Cyborg's the newest one, right?
Quite literally, yes.
Because I was about to say, how far are we off of the incident thing with Flash? Like, how long has he been? Because it seems like obviously it couldn't have been too long. Right?
It's not very long. He's the second to last as far as experience goes.
Okay.
He's the second to newest, I'd probably say.
Okay, so it's Cyborg then Flash.
Yeah, as far as experience goes, well, obviously it'd be Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It would obviously be Wonder Woman. I would argue Batman.
Okay. Because he's
age-wise.
Because he's old.
Age-wise, age-wise, I think it's Batman second.
Yeah.
Then it's Aquaman. He's been like just doing his own thing. Just fuck ever, just off in the cut.
Like Atlantis. Then they talk about that.
Yeah. Then it's Flash.
Okay.
You can tell he's still learning stuff because the way they show him visually, like he's not sprinting. Mm-hmm. It's just like he's just super fast.
Yeah.
And he doesn't really have to sprint. It just looks like when they show him, he's actually just striding.
He's just like jogging.
Yeah. So in a sense, almost.
So he hasn't even like realized he
hasn't really pushed himself in a sense.
Which I guess we'll probably see that max out in Flashpoint, which makes
if they follow through with that. And well obviously they would have to in order if he's going to be doing time travel.
Yeah.
And Cyborg is the newest as far as like, getting his powers and getting an understanding.
Yeah,
of who he is.
There's a few things that I'm very interested that kind of happened around this movie's release. And one is the fact this is kind of the skewed rumor, big rumor, but it seems like it might have a little bit of halfway heft to it, is that potentially Jake Gyllenhaal could take over as Batman next. Which I was wondering how they would do that.
Or
if they would do.
Nightwing.
That's what I thought would make way more sense. But we'll see how that goes. But on the other side of things, the thing that came out too was because Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, had teased before that the way they're going to reveal Black Adam was going to be pretty cool and kind of like unique. And then it pretty much came out that he's going to come out and be revealed in the next Suicide Squad movie.
Oh, well, see, I would have figured he would be in Shazam.
Well, they said he'll first be seen in Suicide Squad, and then it'll play into Shazam.
Okay.
Because they picked Shazam, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. What was it? What was the show he was in? Chuck?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah. And so good on him. That's what's up then. As far as stuff that I've done this weekend, I kind of was trying to avoid as many spoilers as possible, but so that was my week, just sitting on my ass. Let's see. Well, I'm surprised we actually already started off Blake Shelton before we did anything else.
That was a nice little teaser. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we said as much as we can about that. I think the internet has said as much as
the internet took care of that.
What else are you trying to get into? Or get out of? Yeah, fuck it. Let's do that. Get Out.
Get Out. The movie?
Yeah, the movie Get Out.
Okay.
You've seen it, right?
No. I still haven't seen it.
Oh, wow. It's on HBO right now.
Yeah,
so
no, I saw that. It was one of my suggested ones. I was like, oh, fuck.
So there you go.
Yeah. But I've seen everything that's been going on around it.
Okay.
Which as I find interesting.
Golden Globe nominations. Jesus.
Yeah.
And even Golden Globe nominations. Golden Globe nominations. There we go.
Yep.
I don't understand what the hell happened on that one.
Golden Globes. Golden Globes.
All right. So apparently the execs decided to put Get Out's name in the ballot when it comes to Golden Globes.
Yep.
And they decided to put it in the comedy category. Comedy/musical category.
Right.
For Best Picture and all, or however, the way they do that.
Yeah.
There's no horror movie category.
Which that shows the state of horror. As far as on film.
Yeah.
The fact that there's not even a fucking category, that means,
And from what I saw, the internet threw a damn fit over it.
Yeah.
You would have thought Zimmerman got off again or some shit.
Right.
So you can kind of already tell by my tone, my thoughts on it.
Which it was one of those things where when I saw it and I saw everybody getting mad about it, I immediately could see what they were doing mentally. Which I was like, oh, it's supposed to be this commentary on liberal racism, and they're just putting it in comedy, so they think it's a joke. That's what they think. They think it's a joke. That's exactly where their minds are going. I could see it as clear as the day is long. And I'm like, dude.
So you trivializing Black lives right now? Right. It's like I'm not even joking. That was almost a direct quote. Exactly. That was almost a direct quote. They just didn't use trivialize.
Man, that's funny.
So is Black lives a joke to you? It was like, oh, unmute. Mute this conversation.
Now, where do you think that comes from, though? Because I think it is an interesting choice to put that under there. I mean, I've heard.
The thought process that I went with was that, there's no horror category.
Right. That.
As far as adding it into drama, there's a lot. I mean, it's kind of like.
So this
like a real-time strategy game. Mm-hmm. You sit there and have you have your best weapon.
Yeah.
You sit there and use it to attack like the weakest flank or something.
Yeah.
I don't know real-time strategy games. So that was the best analogy I could come up with.
No, that worked.
Or you're playing chess. You're playing chess.
Yeah, that works too. Yeah.
You're playing chess. There, I know more about that. Mm-hmm. You have your queen, your strongest piece.
Yeah.
And you have it go up a bunch, or you have it sit there and just start taking out a bunch of pawns.
Yeah. That
are undefended. Exactly. You can't protect them or nothing like that, just because you know for a fact you can just rack up easily like that. That was the thought process I'm going with as far as the exec center putting Get Out in comedy, or in the comedy category, comedy/musical category.
Yeah.
I don't know any musicals that came out this year.
La La Land was last year, wasn't
it? Yeah, it was last year.
Okay.
You see what happened to that?
We're good. We're good. I was about to say, if La La Land came out, I don't know.
With the exception of Greatest Showman, I don't know if that's going to make it in time with Hugh Jackman. I don't know any musicals that's come out this year. As far as comedies, I don't know any that would stand a chance, point blank period. So they kind of threw that in there as, we're going to clean up.
See, that's what I was thinking too. I was going to ask you before you said this. I was like, do you find and you just answered it, which is, do you think this is a benefit that they put them in the comedy category? And it seems like, because in the drama category, shit can get pretty heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, no pun intended, I guess. I guess that's kind of the point. But,
and the fact that, also as far as I can see the thought process is tossing it in the category or comedy. It was like, well, what's so funny about this movie? Well, obviously there's jokes, and not just a TSA dude. There's some very biting satire in there.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's like, oh, this shit is funny to you? Motherfucker, yes.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear, as far as different things, that's the thing about comedy, good comedy.
Yeah.
Good comedians.
Yeah.
Despite with those jokes being thrown in there, there's truth in them shits. Mm-hmm. There's truth in those jokes.
Right.
Especially, you bring people together by making people laugh at shit that you would normally make you cry, or normally that would upset you.
Right.
And, the satire as far as awkward white person interacting with black person is like, I'd vote for Obama for a third term, or that conversation that he had about the deer. Right. It was like, exterminate them. It's like they do nothing for the good for the community. If you replace deer with the N-word, you could kind of see it was like, oh, wait a minute, I don't like where he's going with this.
You're like, wait a minute, hold
on. The shit with the police scene, or the scene with the cop showing in, coming in to sit there and like, I didn't ask for it was like, I asked to see his ID. It was I didn't ask who was driving. I asked to see his ID, which was in the trailer, so I'm not spoiling anything.
Right. Yeah.
That's not funny. Right. But as far as like the the white person reacting to it, it was like, well, wait a minute, he wasn't driving. Who are you to sit there? It's like, well, you don't have the right. It's like y'all have two completely different realities.
Yeah, exactly.
When it comes to interacting with white people. Plus, there was also a layer to that, which will probably come to that later once you see the movie.
Yeah, it's like the Dave Chappelle joke.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Yeah. We're not gonna take it.
Yeah.
He said, all right, well, that was weird.
And so that's the thing about satire is like you can take it seriously, or as far as, it's something that is pushed. Like with satire, it's something that's pushed to the point of absurdity, where it comes across as a joke, but it's still a serious thing that's being made to make you think.
Right, absolutely.
So I am cool with that.
I'm fine with
in that category.
I was just going to say, I wonder what Jordan thinks about it.
I actually have this article for you. All right, so the most rewarding part of getting... Oh, I'm sorry. This is Jordan Peele, the director and writer of Get Out.
Awesome.
The most rewarding part of making Get Out is the conversations the film has inspired. First-time director Peele wrote, when I originally heard the idea of placing it in the category of comedy, it didn't register to me as an issue. I missed it. There's no category for social thrillers, so what? I moved on. I made this movie for the loyal black horror fans who have been underrepresented for years. When people began standing up for my voice, it meant a lot. Get Out doesn't just belong to me anymore. Now it belongs to everyone. The reason for the visceral response to this movie being called a comedy is that we are still living in a time in which African American cries for justice aren't being taken seriously. It's important to acknowledge that though there are funny moments, the systemic racism that the movie is about is very real. More than anything, it shows me that film can be a force for change. At the end of the day, call Get Out horror, comedy, drama, action, or documentary. I don't care. Whatever you call it, just know it's our truth.
Nice. That's a good way to put it. I mean, that's a perfect way to put it.
Yeah.
Because that was the only other thing that I was thinking about before you read that is if with anybody who's like an artist or whether it's a director, a writer, a musician, anything like that, but if they've been doing something the same, let's say if we have like a rapper or let's say we have like a singer. I mean, we've seen this multiple times on both sides. Where they've been doing that, they've been making hip hop. Same thing. Let's use Childish Gambino for example. Making hip hop.
Yeah, because Childish Gambino is the Oafdiscussions podcast of hip hop.
Yeah, exactly. He is our spirit animal. So he was a rapper. He made a rapper. He sung some, but then like when he made something like
Awaken
My Love, that's a very vocal, very different album. Now imagine if when awards time came around for that album and they still put it in the hip hop category, would you think he would be upset? Like that's not like the way I was thinking about it is one, would Childish Gambino be like, it's not all I am as a rapper. Like I'm an artist more so than just a rapper. I was wondering if Jordan felt the same way where he's like I'm not just like I know I'm funny and I've been known for funny and I know there's funny elements in this, but basically in his head, if he ever thought like, are they just trying to be like, oh, Jordan Peele, he's the funny guy. He'll love to be in the comedy category, even though it's like, okay, yeah, there's funny parts in there, but don't just knee jerk put me in there because you think that's where I belong. Yeah. Just because that's kind of my wheelhouse.
He put it very eloquently. Did I say it eloquently? There we go.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, that was right.
He put it eloquently and very like safe. I could kind of see, or I could, as far as if I were to sit there just to play devil's advocate on this.
Yeah,
he was very safe. He made a very safe statement about it. It's like it doesn't seem to, from what I can gather, it doesn't seem to bother him.
No,
I mean,
and I think he covered all his bases too. Is another way to put it as well. Like in that statement, it wasn't just like he addressed it like one part where he was like,
it wasn't
I don't care.
It wasn't his decision.
Yeah,
but as far as the decision being made, it didn't bother him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. He's more.
It doesn't.
He's more interested in the conversation surrounding the movie as a whole than where somebody classifies it in a fucking award show. Which, I mean, that's a good way to put it. It's a good place for it to be mentally with him. Because, of course, everybody's going to take it.
And for people to get upset about it, with nominations and this, that, and the other, the fact that...
What's the internet mob?
Yeah. And at the end of the day, even if it wins Golden Globes, multiple, or just one, does that further validate what's being talked about? Does it not winning anything to begin with invalidate what's being said about or what the movie's trying to say?
My thought.
Well, I mean, as far as it, I mean, good as far as it's a good fucking movie. Yeah. It is a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Watch this after
this. That's what I've heard. That's what I've always heard. I've always like, excellent. I just haven't had a chance to watch it.
But at the same time, like, even if it doesn't win anything, even if the nominations just fall through and it just doesn't get anything, that doesn't invalidate anything that's being said in this movie. That doesn't invalidate anything that was done with this movie. It started a conversation. It's starting another conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is a movie that was probably going to sit there and stand the test of time. Yeah, I think.
And one of the things I've noticed over the years, and it kind of shifted when I saw this happen, because my whole thought process was earlier, like when I was younger, was something that is you think about it in the way where the award show or the nomination is the end point. Everybody's seen it. The awards are nominated. They win the award. Yay! Nobody ever watched the movie again. That's kind of the mentality that I think a lot of people have, but like in a very vague way.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, yeah, because when's the last time anybody talked about Moonlight?
Right. But here's the way I saw that happen the other way, where I kind of look at this as almost just like what you said, where it's creating another conversation, and by it winning in this category, which it probably will, and it cleaning up in the award show in general, I saw this happen with the Oscars when Grand Budapest Hotel came out, which is a
Wes Anderson movie.
Yeah, Wes Anderson, excellent fucking movie. Very obscure movie. If you don't like Wes Anderson movies, you probably won't like the movie. If you're not looking for this movie, you probably didn't see it or missed it when it first came out. But I remember going to see it when it first came out at Kentucky Theater, because that was like the main place they were showing it. And it got to the Oscars and it won. It was one of the movies that won that year, that like a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of really good movies that won. I forgot what year that was.
It could have been, I want to say it was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 years ago. Because the thing that was interesting, what I've seen happen with that was, after it won...
2014.
Okay, so it's been 3 years. Wow. So after it won, one of the things that I saw, and it happened because I worked in retail, is I saw multiple people that came in and talked to me and asked for that movie, that say they've never seen a Wes Anderson movie before and they had never heard of the movie, but when they saw it win, or when they saw it on that grand stage of the Oscars, then they got into it and they watched it. So this might happen even more and continue the conversation with something like Get Out. The people that either didn't see it, people that might have avoided it because they heard about what it was about, and they're like, I don't want to be uncomfortable. And then they might be like, all right, it's fucking cleaning up. I got to see this movie. And then the conversation continues.
And that could also start another conversation, which I noticed with CinemaSins. Okay. It was like, or any person that gave it a good review, or with CinemaSins, where certain shit would happen and they straight up removed sins.
Okay.
Even though they added, anyway, I'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
As far as, it having such a high praise, there's still that audience that's like, oh, you're only doing that because it's a black film. If it was like, you're just scared of being called racist if you sit there and just show that you appreciate this, or you're just or you'll be a racist if you don't like this movie.
If you don't like this movie, yeah.
Oh, you're pandering, you fucking social justice warrior. You like this movie? And it's like, why do you like this movie? Because it's black? It's like, what? Why do you not like this movie?
Yeah, right.
Why do you not like this movie?
Yeah, it's so easy to turn that
because
around.
It has... Oh
no! Right?
I painted myself in the corner.
Right? Yeah. They just hang their head. It starts playing "Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend." It just zooms in on their face real slow.
Yeah, and that's probably what's going to happen here. It's like, oh, it got nominated for Golden Globes because people didn't want to be racist if they left it out.
God,
it's a good fucking movie,
right? Exactly.
It's not.
I can't wait to have this exact same conversation when Black Panther comes out. Now, hopefully, it's a good movie.
Hopefully.
Yeah. We haven't gotten to that point yet, but if it is a good movie, we'll be in the same fucking conversation.
Well, I mean, like,
and then we'll be dealing with other stuff too.
But I mean, with the superhero movies, they don't really get. I don't remember any that got really nominated. The only time, and like even then, it's only for like side. I mean, not to discredit, makeup or sound design or anything like that.
No.
Not to discredit that.
Yeah, no.
But they're not in the running when it comes to like best actor or best picture or shit like that.
They get like visual effects and
or
stuff
if it's
like
posthumously, like Heath Ledger got.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't know. I just that came across like a knee jerk reaction in my opinion.
What, just to give it to him
to give it to him
posthumously? Even though it was amazing, but
it was a good performance. But like in hindsight, it's just kind of going like, are we just doing that just because?
I feel like it probably was part of it.
It played a.
Even though it was excellent, I think that definitely
it added
people.
It added on.
Yeah, absolutely.
It added on.
I think so. I could easily agree with that.
I was trying to have a controversial opinion, but it was just kind of like, I mean, I can't deny his performance, but at the same time,
yeah, it's one of those things. Yeah.
If he were still alive,
right,
would we have been praising it as much?
The thing, it's one of those things you never know.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things.
Had Tom Hardy passed, after Dark Knight Rises,
would we been like that?
I would be very suspicious of Christopher Nolan and Christian Bale for starters.
Oh, right, yeah, like what are y'all doing? Really, what are y'all doing? Like that wasn't even like a role he had to like get into.
We must protect. It was like, how come y'all didn't do this with Hugh Jackman?
Right? It's like
during the Prestige.
Right.
That's the movie, right? Yes, the
Prestige
when they were together.
Yeah. It's like he got away too quick. He got on a plane and flew back to Australia too quick. We couldn't catch him.
Oh, but no, it's yeah, and like looking back on it, have you seen Cinema Wins?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not related to Cinema Sins at all.
Okay.
It's just he just finds a movie, whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, and he points out all the good stuff about it, whether for better or for worse.
That's cool. That's pretty interesting.
And so he just did recently, like literally either today or yesterday, Dark Knight Rises.
Okay.
And like he started pulling up all the dialogue that Bane had.
Yeah.
And like looking back at it, it's like, yo, he had some pretty fucking good ass lines in there.
Yeah.
And especially like his delivery and like that part where he put his hand on that person. It was like, do you feel in charge? And there's just it was so nonchalant, but at the same time, it was just like, I remember when I was in the theater watching, I was like, oh, shit's about to go down.
Exactly.
And it was just it was so gentle. It was just this gentle little.
It was an open palm facing, not even like, it wasn't even like he put it like slightly around his neck.
Like he was about to choke him or nothing like that. He just rested it on his shoulder.
Yeah, that was it.
Do you feel in charge?
I was like,
oh, right, shit.
Yeah. He just immediately shit his pants. Yeah, I love it, man. Like probably one of the most quotable villains, especially in comic books, movies. But yeah, I know, and that movie catches hell all the time. Anyway, it constantly does.
Yeah, I mean it's because of Christian Bale, like with his Bat voice, which I don't even remember it being all the way out there like that.
It wasn't really, and we were still coming down off
Heath Ledger,
off Dark Knight.
Dark Knight, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
So
it caught more shit, but yeah, we know how that goes.
Yeah, regardless, I still see what the hell is it called? I still see Get Out winning.
Yeah. Very nice.
All right,
what we got?
I was gonna sit there and pull up that news article that Brent wanted to share.
Yeah.
Where the hell it go? About the drug bust, or the supposed drug bust gone wrong.
Oh yeah, about the
Yeah. So it took place in Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to. Oh, there we go. I think I found it. Sources say it started when two special ops officers from the 12th precinct in Detroit were operating a push-off on Andover near 7 Mile. That's when two undercover officers pretend to be dope dealers waiting for eager customers to approach and then arrest potential buyers and seize their vehicles. But this time, instead of customers, special ops officers from the 11th precinct showed up. Not realizing they were fellow ops officers, they ordered the other undercover officers to the ground.
Yeah.
Fox 2 is told the rest of the special ops teams from the 12th precinct showed up and officers began... Okay, zoom that in. Oh, I can zoom. There we go. Began raiding a house in the 19300 block of Andover. That's a long-ass number for a address. Anyway, but instead of fighting crime, officers from both precincts began fighting with each other. Sources say guns were drawn and punches were thrown while the homeowner stood and watched. The department's top cops.
Yeah.
Were notified. Yeah, I could sit there and see a show about that now.
Top cop.
Just police officers in top hats.
That's strangely specific, but I like it.
Were notified along with internal affairs. Each officer involved is now under investigation as the department's, just one, tried to determine what went wrong.
Okay. So only one department is trying to figure out what the hell happened?
So, yeah, one precinct and the other precinct got into it, trying to be an undercover and in too deep on both ends.
God, it's so good. That's lack of communication at its finest.
Absolute.
I mean, you're in the same city. Like, you need to know. Like, hey, so you guys know.
And, like in movies and shows where it's in there going it was like, put your hands up. So, wait, no, I'm an undercover cop.
Right.
And it's just like, I don't give a fuck. It's
right.
Like, I don't give a fuck.
And they probably didn't have their badges on them and stuff. I would assume.
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, how did this conversation go to where y'all just, did no badges come out?
Well, they might see that.
Did they? Is it
one party? I would assume one party might not have had their badge on them.
Maybe. And
it's the only thing I think.
You're just gonna take my word for it. I'm an undercover cop.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can
I'm not falling for this again.
Right? Yeah. You know how many times I've been told that I was arrested an undercover cop in this city? Damn it! It's so funny, man, because this is one of those things that that I would absolutely love to have to respond to in my line of work. If it's like, hey, there was a drug bust that went wrong involving no criminals. It's like, oh, okay, what do we got here? Some police got in a scuffle with each other.
Tonight at 11, a drug bust involving officers getting arrested.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's like this long fall. Yep, officers. And it just goes to it.
Oh, were they crooked cops? No, they were just doing their job.
And so were the other ones. Nobody knew what was going on.
Everybody was doing the right thing.
Yeah, right. I don't even know how this works. I don't even know what angle we can pull out. This is ridiculous. But yeah, it's just it's lack of communication. It's ridiculous. It's so funny. It's just one of those stories that are just hilarious. It's so great.
It just I can't make sense of it at all. It's just my head's hurt trying to make like how does that go down?
Yeah.
And the coming to blows, everybody fighting.
Right. And that is
like Anchorman style is what I'm thinking
that's
of.
That's the thing. Like, yeah, that's the part that surprises me is the fact that I'm glad nobody was like seriously injured, but
right.
like usually when somebody starts fighting,
right? Like the guns were drawn and punches were thrown.
Yeah,
in the article. It's like
wait a minute, like
in that order.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like guns are.
Yeah, just set up. It was like a circle of people with guns drawn, and then in that circle, it's like a fucking kumite.
I just imagine like yeah.
People just fighting each other. And
just guns drawn. Then all of a sudden they just like threw the gun in his face and started like just ran at him and just started fighting. It's like, wait a minute, like this doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, it's miscommunication.
You just talking about throwing the gun reminded me of like people always talking about this. Like it's happened on the Superman. Like it's happened on Superman movies. And I remember seeing this on the cartoon, or I'm imagining it, like Mandela effect style,
gotcha.
Where people would sit there, like the robbers or whatever, would sit there be shooting at Superman, and he's just walking straight towards them, just unfazed. And then when they run out of bullets, they sit there, throw the gun at him, and he ducks. And everybody's just like, "Well, what's the point? So why did you even bother ducking?"
Is it surface area? You don't want to get hit by something that large. You're like, wait a minute. Like, dude, just do the same thing. You're fine.
It's like you're Superman.
Yeah.
What are you ducking for?
I'm bulletproof, but I'm not gunproof. I'm not obscure shape of metal.
I mean, like now that I'm thinking about it, maybe
it's so ridiculous.
Maybe like as far as I could probably maybe see like the real life actors and they're just going like, nah, that's annoying. It's like, I ain't with that shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm not gonna hit with a gun in the face. I don't care if it is a rubber gun.
But for the cartoon, like for him to still do it, I don't know if that was just an homage,
right?
Or if that's just or it's just like like when your girl's hitting you, and like it's like y'all stop. It's like, hey, quit, no, stop.
Right, yeah. You're like, hey, that actually hurt. Stop. But yeah. So we're glad everybody
made it okay.
And made it out okay,
and was able to duck apparently.
Yeah. The lack of bullets and just the thrown guns and the punches. So yeah. Oh my gosh. What was I about to say? Oh, one of the things that I did listen to this week, because we were talking about this before.
Yeah.
I checked out a little bit of that Sire record from Jaden Smith. And
I'm at the I thought I was at the halfway mark until you just told me
that
long. There's like how many you said 17?
17 tracks. I'm pretty sure.
I thought that was like 10. And honestly, the first 4 could have been like its own little EP.
Yeah. It was, there's definitely like separate parts. There's even, like I said, there's a song in the middle called 90 that like is probably about almost 10 minutes long, and it goes through. I mean, it goes through at least like 3 or 4 tone shifts as far as like the type of song that it is.
That's funny when you talk about tone shifts like 3 or 4 times because those first 4 tracks where it spells out blue.
Yep.
It's technically all the same song, but they split it up for each time that it transitions, or it's kind of like almost like a jam session type of shit.
Yeah, that's what it very much
that really
seems
could
like.
have been its own thing. Like Blue he could have just like dropped that before Sire.
Yeah,
and that would have been okay in the sense that like it's just all just 4 tracks, all as like a jam session that kind of transitioned to different songs and this, that, and the other.
Yeah. And that's what kind of surprised me. It's one of those things where there's probably about there's like a 8 to 9 track little like project in the middle, or like I guess from the middle to the end of Sire that's like perfectly cohesive, and then you've got like a little bit of fat on the edges with like that blue, which you feel like could have been separated. But at the same time, overall, it's good. And it was one of those things where I saw a lot of people, of course, either praising it and liking it and pleasantly surprised, the same way the Justice League movie was, or they were hating it just because it was Jaden Smith. And you kind of saw that. But it's been interesting to watch, really, both of them, Willow and Jaden, kind of evolve as artists from Whip My Hair to now, the stuff that she does, and then from Jaden over his course of his career, like growing up, and kind of hear where they're at. And they're pretty solid. I mean, nothing too like miraculous or crazy.
Yeah,
but good.
With this Sire, the first tracks that I'm listening to right now, you could definitely tell he was inspired by Yeezus.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Or production wise, yeah, you can tell he's inspired by Yeezus.
There's one on there that sounds, and I don't know. I wonder if you've gotten. I would assume you've probably gotten to it, but there's a track on there that sounds like Black Skinheads, like in cadence and beats, like very similar.
Falcon.
I think so.
Because
like
that was the first track.
It's like drum, like the drum. It's like the drums kind of get like soloed out, kind of like the way the.
I think it's Falcon. Is because I remember hearing that separately.
Yeah.
There's two other tracks I heard on there separately that like were, as we already discussed earlier, like almost 2 years old.
Yeah, that was his primary. There's Batman and Fallen that have been out for a pretty long time, because funny thing about those is in Batman and Fallen he still had dreads.
Yeah.
And he cut his hair like about a year ago. So those were songs I was kind of surprised were on there, but I mean, they were kind of singles he had put out and just kind of been chilling and garnering. I mean, they've obviously got a shit ton of views and stuff online and plays and everything. But I was surprised they were on here. And like we were talking about before, I love the video for Batman. It's so funny.
It is hilarious.
It's great, man.
It is a trip.
It's so funny.
And it's like, I can't tell whether he's being serious or not. That's what's even funnier about it.
And that's the way it's a lot of times with him. That's the way I've noticed it. It's
like, how much of this is he self-aware?
Yeah.
And how much of this is he, I think we got a message. I think we might be able to get another guest on.
Oh, nice. I think the genius of it is if it's all self-aware.
Right.
Is that if the whole thing is self-aware. Let's see if we can get Brennan here. We'll see if it works. Hello?
Where are we timestamp-wise?
We are at just over an hour. Hello? Yeah,
I guess it ain't just out. It ain't going
weird.
out.
He must not be getting it on his end from the... The weird thing is it's going out to him because he's got the microphone. Yeah. He should be getting it.
And the call ended.
Oh, dang it. All right. Well, I'll remember those. Cut that part out.
we will.
But yeah. So, like we said, Jaden Smith. Yeah, Jaden Smith's Sire. Pretty solid in the middle. A little bit of fat needs to be trimmed off the edges. That's about it. But yeah, a lot of people were hating on it, of course. But other than that, I'm trying to think. We got anything else?
I got something else, but I don't really
want to save it.
I mean, it's gonna die down pretty soon anyway. So fuck it, we'll just toss it out there. 2 nights ago.
Okay, cool.
Alexandra Raisman, or have you? I don't know this name. I didn't know this name.
Okay.
But the name that I know associated with it, who is a teammate of Gabby Douglas.
Okay.
There we go. Had a comment about sexual abuse. It was like, stop victim shaming. Stop victim shaming, this, that, and the other. It's because of you that so many survivors live in fear. Mm-hmm. And then Alexandra Raisman sit there and had a reply. We're all in this together. If we're going to create change, I need all your help. I need all your help. Mm-hmm. I've never seen that written like that. But all right.
How's it written?
I need all your help. Because I feel like in a way, I want to say all of your help.
All of your, right, yeah.
But that doesn't sound right either. That's so weird. I've never
I hate when that happens.
Yeah.
Like you see something, you're like, what the fuck?
It hits the ear wrong.
Right, yeah.
But then Gabby, quote tweeted this. Quote retweet, whatever.
Yep.
However, it is our responsibility as women to dress modestly and be classy. Dressing in a provocative / sexual way entices the wrong crowd. And and everyone was getting her out the paint for that.
I'm not surprised. That's kind of it, and I'm not surprised because I feel some type of way about the fact that she said it. I'm not surprised because that clearly is something I know would invoke rage from the internet mob.
Yeah.
Especially seeing everything that's happened with the different sexual harassment stuff, and with people on the quote unquote wrong side being like, well, if you dressed appropriately, you wouldn't get, and then that goes into the whole victim blaming thing.
Yeah, and the victim blame I knocked the microphone over. Now the thing with the victim blame is there's so many different sides of being on the wrong side. It's amazing. It's like a fucking
die.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Decahedron, yeah. There's one side that's like, oh well, you shouldn't dress a certain way, blah 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 blah. You should, or you know, be smarter about yourself. So if you knew better, you do better, and not get raped or whatever.
Sounds so stupid.
And there's another side that's sitting there going like, why is the only reason why everybody's sitting there on the bandwagon now is because one person said something. They were going to sit there and keep quiet. I feel like somebody's out for a paycheck. 3, it's just a witch hunt. Everybody's sitting there just accusing everybody. No one's being held accountable because as long as you're on social media, as soon as somebody accuses you of something, you're done for. Which there's a little bit of truth to that. It's like, yeah, you can sit there and you can get you're guilty until proven innocent when it comes to social media. So there's 100%. A little bit there.
Yeah,
and then there's the one side that wants to politicize the shit. And it's like, all these left-wing people, these Hollywood folks is like fucking liberals sitting there raping everybody.
Right.
And
you're
then
like, whoa, dude.
And then it's the, well, what about these Republicans doing it? Oh, you don't sit there and try to flip it, or don't try to flip it now. It's like, motherfucker, you just flipped it. What are you talking about?
You flipped it when you walked in the kitchen. Now I can't flip it? It's like,
let that pancake simmer.
Exactly. Now it's burnt on one side because you're dumbass. God dang it.
Told you. Wait for the bubbles.
Right.
Wait for those bubbles.
Wait for the bubbles. Then we'll be good. You can flip it there. Yeah, it's been a crazy thing to watch. One, the fire kind of rise and bring so many people to the light.
Yeah, like a domino effect.
Yeah, absolutely. And I talked about that in the last backlog episode about what happened with IGN.
Yeah, I see the feedback you got a little bit on that.
Yeah,
that was hilarious.
Yeah. I was. It's so funny because like that was one of the first time. That was probably one of. I think we can say this. That was probably one of the most serious posts that we've done as Oafdiscussions, and it's one of the ones that's received the most dislikes too. And I think part of it,
and it evens out either way.
Yeah,
as far as likes, dislikes. So that's our first break even.
Yeah. Well, actually, there's one more. There's one more dislike now.
Oh wow!
So it's 3-4 now.
Yeah.
So it's funny, and it's one of those things where most people probably didn't even listen to the whole thing.
Nah.
Most
they just saw sexual harassment.
And
all fucking liberals.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. 100%. Because if they listen to it, there's no way you could do a dislike unless you're using the dislike as I dislike this situation happening. Okay, yeah, but that's not what all right. It's not what the button's for.
It doesn't bother us.
Yeah, it doesn't bother us any.
But it's still hilarious.
Exactly.
And it came in such a knee-jerk reaction type of way.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the statistics on the video, you didn't listen to it all the way through.
No, 100% not. But one of the things, and it's been one of those things we've seen as a country, this whole situation, this topic, pretty much become commonplace over the past, couple months?
I guess. Yeah.
And we've seen so many people in the media, politics, Hollywood, gaming industry, everything, be affected by this on both sides. So it's one of those things that I don't think is going to go away anytime soon. But this is probably one of the most interesting and different comments / viewpoints I've seen. Being this comment coming from that particular side is very interesting because usually that's something you see spewed from the outside looking in of somebody just sick of the whole situation and just trying to basically offer their 2 cents and solve the problem and fix it all and offer their opinion, which basically applies no real regard or sensibilities of what the victim's actually been through.
Right.
And they just throw it out there like, well, you should do better than... It's like if somebody accidentally catches their house on fire. Well, you should only eat cold food. Like, what the fuck kind of stupid... Okay, thanks. Good job. Appreciate it. Like, it's just one of those things. They just throw it out there because, like, I can fix it.
So I just got robbed. Well, you shouldn't have walked around with money, you know?
Why you got money?
Should,
what the
fuck you doing putting money in your wallet?
Right, yeah.
It's 2017.
Right. Like, oh my God. Like, really? But it's so, yeah, it's
fuck you doing getting murdered for?
Right? Yeah, what you try? Yeah.
What are you doing? What are you doing living within 50 miles of knives?
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry, the new bubble development wasn't done yet, so I couldn't fucking live in there yet. But yeah, it's something that this is definitely a very different viewpoint, and it's something as a whole, this topic, that I don't think is going away anytime soon.
There's a man burning a cross on my lawn. Well, maybe you shouldn't have a yard.
Right, yeah. Apartment, hello. What the fuck? Are you kidding me? All right, I'll just take your advice. Thank you, Captain Hindsight. We appreciate you, sir. Your rank and attitude are much appreciated.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's like, you know how certain Twitter's like, oh, she's canceled, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, what the fuck ever. She's like 22. Mm-hmm. She said something stupid, which, thank God, like, within the 7 years, like 7-8 years that we were around that age, and social media wasn't nearly as much as it was, especially as like goofy and like. Thank God I never said anything stupid that sit there and just blew the fuck up.
Oh, no,
well, thank God I'm not anybody important either.
Right,
it's like, and then something so they just blew up me saying something.
That
stupid.
helps me too. Yeah.
She'll grow up. She'll mature. And we're gonna forget about this shit anyway later.
The shelf life is terrible on most of this stuff.
Yeah. And it ain't like, had it been like a crime or something like that, then it could probably sit there and... But, she said something stupid. It was very, very, very stupid. She's getting dragged through it, or dragged over it.
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
social media.
Yeah,
and she'll sit there and look at it. It's like maybe reflect on it a couple years later when it's time for the Olympics. Have that behind her.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
We'll
for all those in there saying she's canceled, don't cheer for her. Come to Olympics.
Exactly.
Bring that same fucking energy.
That'll be exactly what'll happen.
Bring that same fucking energy.
One of the and before we get out of here, one of the funniest things that I always remember, especially when you talk about like internet rage, is there was with the last Call of Duty game before World War II, Advanced War. There was this whole coalition of people on Reddit that created this like boycott Call of Duty group. And of course, Reddit, you can put your gamer tags on and all that stuff. Somebody did the research, and when the game came out, they found that everybody on the boycott Call of Duty group was playing the game while still posting on the boycott.
That they were going to...
Yeah. So they were like, okay, that lasted long. Your fucking whole movement is completely invalid now. So with any of these internet rage situations, it just fades into oblivion. It just time and
that's like
people forgetting
a couple dudes
thing to anger it.
Left their Alcoholics Anonymous and went to the bar immediately afterwards.
Right.
All to get like all of them together.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, that's not an accurate description. That's trivializing alcoholism.
Yeah. Well,
but that's just that's just like.
But it's just stupid. It just shows that a lot of people just get outraged and angry online, and then they just immediately contradict themselves.
Yeah.
Most of the time. But yeah, thank you guys as always. We appreciate it. It's been another.
Oh, there we go. Somebody protesting that they're vegan and sitting there just bashing people for eating meat, and then you sit there and catch them as soon as they get done protesting, walking into McDonald's or some shit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
There we go. That's better.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a better comparison.
Guys. Thank you.
Alcoholism is funny.
Right, yeah, no. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it as always. You can always check us out at all of the podcast providers, whether it's iTunes, Stitcher, Podbean, all the good stuff. You can check us out at Oafdiscussions.com. That's where every episode will go up each and every week. Those are the backlog. That is the liquid drops, and that is the regular Oaf Discussions episodes. On our Oaf Discussions Instagram, that's where you can find all of our little short post articles, and of course, Webb's reviews. He will be doing one coming up this week on the Justice League, which should be grand.
Hopefully I didn't give away all my points, all my
Yeah, no, I
points.
think it should be good. As always, facebook.com/group/Oafdiscussions. That's where you can get in there, join that group. A bunch of good people in there. Discuss the topics. We post stuff all throughout the week. You can comment, let us know what you think. Oafdiscussions@gmail.com. You can drop us a line, let us know what you think of the show, send us topics, whole 9 yards. YouTube, all the videos go up on there as well if you feel more inclined to listen on YouTube, and that's of the backlog and Oaf Discussions and of the Liquid Drops as well. Guys, as always, I am Kid Swift at K and Kid Swift on Twitter. Webb is at Webb859 on Twitter. Brent is at LOCoolV22, and Shayna is at ShaynaMB on the Twitter and the Instagram.
Webb.859 on Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to throw that out
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to throw that out there. Yep.
Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.
This.